All right, good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. It's Friday, which is great. It's good weather out there. Everybody's excited, in a good mood, as they should be. And you're going to cook out, grill out, have some fun, get outside, whatever activities you want to do. We've got baseball and lots and lots and lots of SEC baseball, including Mississippi State and Ole Miss tonight in Oxford again at Swayze. It'll be packed. Game 2, Ole Miss took Game 1 last night, 4-2. And Dylan DeLucia was magnificent on the mound. He went a complete game, all 9 innings. You don't see that a lot this day and age. And he pitched brilliantly. And then Kevin Graham hit a 3-run bomb, and the Rebs take Game 1. So tonight we'll have actually Mississippi State will have their best pitcher on the mound tonight, Preston Johnson. And he'll be going against a very talented young man in Hunter Elliott, Ole Miss from Tupelo. So they'll get after it again, Bianco and Lemonis, and we'll see what shakes out. Then they'll go one more time tomorrow. That's a day game. That's a 3:30 game on ESPN2. So you have to stream it tonight wherever you are, on the back porch patio having a beverage. And then tomorrow you get it on the Deuce. Last night was on SEC Network. I agree with you, Blake. Tom Hart and Kyle Peterson were really good calling the game. Both have been on this show many a times, and they do a good job. So our SEC Insider Hit this segment is brought to you by the Men's Clinic, and their website is, and I love this, themanthing.com. Testosterone replacement, laser treatments, IV therapy, infusions, among other things. It's about a mile from where I'm sitting right here, the Men's Clinic on Highland Colony. Right off Highland Colony in Madison. And we welcome in our special guest this morning, Dr. Mike Manning, who, along with Dr. Cliff Adams, rolled this out several years ago. And Dr. Mike Manning, good morning. How are you?
Glad to be here. You bet.
I'm glad we could do this again. And everything's going good at the Men's Clinic. And we want to talk about some of the new things in a minute. But if you run into a friend this afternoon, and you're in the neighborhood, and you're like, all right, Mike, Dr. Manning, what all does the Men's Clinic offer? Let's start with the main thing that y'all do there.
Yeah, the main thing is testosterone replacement. You know, as guys age, after the age of 30 and certainly 40, your testosterone can start decreasing. And that affects your sex drive, that affects your energy level, your mood, the results you get in the gym, your muscularity, just your mental focus, just you want to. Yeah. And we try to optimize those testosterone levels. We don't run anybody outside of normal, but we try to run them in the upper ends of normal because we've had the clinic now for over 10 years. Okay. So there's well over 1,000 men in that clinic now. So we have a lot of experience with doing testosterone replacement in guys. So we've sort of learned through the years which levels are particularly good depending on the age group of the guy. Younger guys obviously need a little more testosterone than older guys do based on activity level and things like that. But the important thing is that you're followed. Testosterone is plenty safe to do as long as you do it right.
Right.
And that means getting lab work and, keeping a watch on things.
Dr. Mike Manning with the Men's Clinic on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. So take us through the process. You go in and get a free blood test.
Yeah, well, most guys come in. You can come in and get a free blood test if you want to, but most guys come in knowing, that they want to come. Yeah, and so they get a pretty good battery of lab. We can get a general look at their health, not just their testosterone level, because there's more to it than just simply replacing the testosterone. You've got to look at things like their estrogen levels. You got to look at their sex hormone binding globulin, their free testosterone, their total testosterone. There's an art and a science to it. But guys come in. We have 2 excellent male nurses that run the clinic for us, Jake and Ross, and one of them draws your blood. And it takes a couple days for that to come back from the lab. And at that point, you sit down with either myself or Dr. Adams, just depending on who's doing it that day.
Sure.
And we go through your lab, go through your medical history, spend 30 minutes with you, talking about the ins and outs. And, if you need it, then we design a testosterone replacement program for you and institute it for a month's time. The first month is really a trial period. You're not signed up for any programs, nothing like that. You know, I tell every single guy that comes into the clinic, don't take anything that's not helping you, including testosterone.
Right.
You know, I think if a doctor says, hey, the testosterone helps everybody, well, you're talking to the wrong man. You know, it doesn't. I would tell you that 8 out of 10 guys that come to the clinic stay in the clinic. But, you know, some people, you get everything optimized, and it just doesn't affect their symptoms. And for those, they don't need to continue taking it. But certainly it helps your energy level. It helps your sex drive, your muscularity, sleep, mood. You know, I'm 58. I've been taking testosterone now for about 10 years. And if somebody came to me now and they said, hey, you know, what is it doing for you now, 10 years later? You know, I like to go to the gym. I try to stay in shape. I think that's important. If you're thinking about doing this sort of thing, looking at the physician who's prescribing it. You know, is he doing it? Is he doing the things that you're recommending? What does he look like?
Right.
You know, if all this is so good, you know, you don't want to be getting this from a doctor who's big and fat and out of shape, and he's trying to tell you all these things. Well, if they're so good, why aren't you doing it?
Sure.
So Cliff and I try to stay in reasonable shape. You know, we go to the gym and work out, and I think that's important when you're, choosing your physician.
So the website is themanthing.com. And by the way, they have a new website. They redid it within the last year, I guess.
That's right.
And it's the men's clinic in Madison, right off Highland Colony. And Dr. Mike Manning joins us, and again, his partner, Dr. Cliff Adams. All right, so that's the big piece of the puzzle for the men's clinic. Let's talk about some of the other things that you can get at the men's clinic.
Well, you know, if you end up being a member of the clinic, if after a month's time, you know, you come back and you say, hey, you know, this is really helping me, I want to continue, at that point you become a member of the clinic and you pay a small monthly fee to stay in the clinic. And what that gets you is, I went to 10 businesses here in town and used the fact that we have over 1,000 men in our clinic now and looking for a discount for my guys. You know, so you're issued a membership card, and you can show that card in these 10 businesses around town, which are, you know, businesses that we all go to as men anyway. You know, they're liquor stores, they're gun places, they're, you know, places you buy clothes and sunglasses and gyms. And the thought being that, you know, if you use that card 2 or 3 times a month, buying things you're going to buy anyway, you really kind of pay for your membership. So I'm always trying to build value into the membership, you know, of our clinic. Because the way it's designed and the way we maintain it and run it, it's almost like a men's club versus, you know, just a straight medical clinic. The feel of the clinic, how it looks, you know, heart pine floors, wood on the walls, fireplace, you know, antique barber chairs in the rooms. You know, we're trying to have
it's kind of like a cool lodge bar area. It's really got a good feel.
Well, we want our guys to feel comfortable, you know, because, you know, this is a big thing for a lot of guys. Sure. And so they want to keep it private. You know, it's upstairs in our building. It's kind of a whisper entrance, you know, so you can kind of slip in and slip out. So, the feel of the clinic is important. But we're trying to, you know, we're all kind of going through the aging process together. You know, and so we have social functions, you know.
You had one a couple of weeks ago for the Final Four.
We absolutely did. And, you know, we had the deal at the Gluckstadt at the shooting range. And, you know, so we had that for 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. People could bring their guns and do some shooting. And then after we finished that, then, you know, we had a crawfish boil and, you know, just times to hang out and talk and just kind of be together. You know, one night we had a poker tournament. You know, we don't play for money, but we play for prizes. And, you know, so we moved all the furniture out of the clinic and moved in the poker tables. And, you know, we played poker till midnight and just had a good time being together. So we're trying to, you know, form a kind of a sense of community because, you know, we're all going to age, but we all don't have to grow old.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do is whatever stage of life you are, trying to be the best you can be for that age.
Right.
Right.
TheManThing.com, the men's clinic in Madison. He is Dr. Mike Manning on the Corona Premier Guest Line. He's joining us live in the Bank Plus studio. So when did y'all build the new, really cool lodge, man cave?
That's been about 4 years ago.
Okay.
When I first started it, you know, we were on the second floor of the Mississippi Vein building, and it got so big so quick that I built another building right next to us that houses the men clinic. Yeah. So when you turn off of Highland Colony Parkway, you'll be on Fountains Boulevard. It's the very first left. You'll see a sign that says the men's clinic, and it's in the second building. And you just park and go up the stairs. You'll see a signage out there. But yeah, the new building, the new facility
That's
is
a home
great.
run.
Well, and we have a compounding pharmacy on site. With Matt Chambers, Madison Medical Compounding Pharmacy. Matt Chambers is our pharmacist. He is world class. All of our patients can have a consult with him about medicines, about supplements, about different nutrition things. They can sit down and talk to him. Because, supplements, we can all end up taking too many supplements. And,
Right.
Matt can help direct exactly what you need, and he can get you to all supplements aren't the same, just like all guns aren't the same. I
Right.
mean, we all know that some guns are way better than other guns. Well, some supplement lines are much better than others. So, Matt is just excellent. He was a college athlete. He was
Wisconsin Badger.
he was a
He's a good
Badger,
dude.
and he was a wrestler, and not a big guy, but a very successful wrestler at Wisconsin. He was a state champion, and so he comes at it from kind of an athlete, perspective, which I like.
He's in great shape.
Oh, he's unbelievable shape. We also have Revive Nutrition there, so guys, when they come in, they can get an energy drink or they can get a meal replacement drink there. Here lately, we have gotten Jackie Williams with Innovative Health. That is the women's side of the hormones.
Yeah.
And so now she's upstairs above Mississippi Vein where the Man Clinic used to be.
Yes.
And so, after guys come in and they get all lined out, a lot of times they want their wives to be, kind of hormonally optimized as well. So now we have Jackie Williams with Innovative Health there. Fantastic addition to our medical compound. And, getting the women optimized, that's important too.
Dr. Mike Manning on the Out of Bounds Show. All right, this is something that Blake has been dying to talk about. And I think this is perfect in the will. I think any age, but the young people love this, and that's your IV therapy solutions.
Yeah.
You're seeing these pop up everywhere, especially in major metropolitan areas.
Right.
You got ahead of the curve.
Right.
Walk our listeners through that.
Well, a lot of guys, come in to just get hydration, really. I mean, we have vitamin infusions. We have different, IV infusions depending on what you want. But you're in a very relaxed environment. You're in, we have leather chairs back there, big screen TVs. And so, the nurses put the IV in and you sit back and kind of watch TV and talk, with whoever's in there. But we all walk around every day so incredibly dehydrated, particularly after you have a big weekend or maybe you got a big weekend coming up. Getting an IV infusion a lot of times helps with that for sure.
Or your fourth cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
Then you need to pound like 30, 40, 50 ounces of water, right? Or get an
Absolutely,
IV.
absolutely.
Blake, do you have something? Dr. Mike Manning on the Out of Bounds Show with the Men's Clinic, themanthing.com.
All right.
Blake Scott,
yes,
what's up, buddy?
I do have a question. So obviously I'm all in on the IV stuff, and I get that, and that's for every age. But going back to like what you were talking about with your testosterone clinic and things like that, and the membership, I get, Bo's, he's getting on up there, so he needs all this. I'm 30. Am I too young to start doing this? And is it something that like at 30 years old it's worth coming to check out what you guys are doing?
Sure. We see people that are that young that have really low testosterone, and what's interesting is a lot of the younger people do. And I don't know that it's not something in the food, that we're eating now. There's more estrogens in the food.
Processed.
I don't know, but we see that a lot. The consideration is testosterone certainly won't sterilize you permanently, but it can decrease your sperm production. And so if you're talking about a young guy that comes in, the first thing I always ask them, are you still in the baby business? Because if you are, we do a different kind of formulation to make sure we maintain your fertility while we, get your testosterone levels up better. So that's a consideration with younger guys. Yeah.
That was a good question. And I'm impressed that you actually had a good question, Blake Scott. Dr. Mike Manning on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone. The Men's Clinic in Madison is a state-of-the-art clinic designed to help men with the aging process. You can hit their site right now, themanthing.com. Mike, when did you start Mississippi Vein Institute?
Mississippi Vein was started in 2008. And yeah, a long time.
Wow.
That's my flagship business. And, we've performed over 30,000 intravenous laser cases now. The funny thing is, when I first started, I can remember thinking if I could just do 30 a month, I'd make it. Yeah. It's kind of blown up from there. But we've treated people from all over the country, really. The South, certainly. Some people fly in for us to do their legs, right, and we'll fix them, and they'll fly out. But incredible staff at Mississippi Vein, very experienced. just can't say enough good things about them. Your outcome is dependent on your team. It's not just me and Cliff. It's the people behind
And you talk
us.
about that all the time.
And let me tell you, man, outstanding team at Mississippi Vein, no question. And the experience, too. It's not just a good treatment result. It's how you treated, and that's what's missing in medicine today, in my opinion. You go to some places and you just feel like it's a meal. You feel like you're being rushed through there. We actually take time with our patients. We enjoy them. We try to make the process painless for them and make it enjoyable, because ultimately that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember how you treated them and what their experience was like.
I remember several years ago, you told me, I guess we were at dinner or something, you told me who you trained under in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was John Kingsley. John unfortunately passed away on me a few years ago. He was about 20 years older than I am, but
Revered, wasn't he?
well, he really was, and he was one of the pioneers in what we do. It was almost like Michael Jordan, saying, "Hey, it looks like you have a little ability in basketball. Let me help you." And he just took a real personal interest in me to the degree that I gave his eulogy, when he died.
Wow.
So we were. It was sort of like a father-son thing, really. Yeah.
And you were an anesthesiologist?
I was. I was at
This is a
St.
pretty
Dominic's
amazing
for about
story.
14 years. And I was good at it. I trained at Wake Forest. I was president of my group and president of the state, anesthesia society. But I just didn't like it, to be honest with you, And I suffered a really bad injury. I broke my leg really bad about 15 years ago, external fixator bad. And I went back and did anesthesia after that. But during that time, I started really thinking about what I wanted to do next.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned about the intravenous laser procedure and thought that, that's something I can get really good at because I kind of really already had the skills for doing it.
Right.
And so I sought out who was the best person in the country to train me, and that happened to be John. And it was a God thing, man, to be honest with you. I think when you get in God's will for your life, things move very, very quickly for you. And
You pivot, and it worked out.
It was just unbelievable. The funny thing is, I was 45 years old when I pivoted, and everybody in the medical community thought I was crazy. Literally.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. And the only person that really believed in me was my wife. And, Scarlett said, "Look, man, if we got to live in a house trailer, that's what we got to do. Whatever we got to do to get where you are enjoying what you do." And I got to tell you, now I absolutely love what I do. And we do so many different things. We have Mississippi Vein. We have our aesthetics clinic where we do Botox and Juvederm and laser treatments. We have the men's clinic. We now have our pharmacy. And so, every day I'm just doing so many different things.
And you're an entrepreneur at heart.
Entrepreneur at heart. And I think that's why ultimately I wasn't satisfied with anesthesia, because it's just not an entrepreneurial specialty. But now, we do have a construction business. We build, we're in the hotel business. We do assisted living facilities. We do real estate development.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things outside of medicine, and that's what keeps me happy.
Yeah, that's exciting. Dr. Mike Manning on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He and Dr. Cliff Adams with the men's clinic in Madison, right off Highland Colony on Fountains Boulevard. And you can go to themanthing.com. They've got a great site. You can go to themanthing.com, start to see what all they offer. Call, and as Mike said, they will start the process with you. And I think the membership thing's going to really, really take off with what y'all started to create. I mean, I know you already had one, but you're taking it to another level, going out and grabbing those 10, 12 businesses to kind of marry the whole thing.
And guys, when they come, they also get discounts on our existing businesses. So if you want Botox, if you want a laser resurfacing procedure for your face, or, a lot of guys get red as we get older, so we have light therapies for that to get the redness out of your face. All those things are discounted for our members. And so, we use the leverage of doing a lot of different things in our compound to save our patients money.
What was it like? How long did you spend at Wake Forest?
I was at 3 years.
Beautiful campus.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And, Winston-Salem is fantastic. And I probably would have really stayed in North Carolina if I'd have had some family. But, you start having kids and you come back home. That's kind of how it goes. But Scarlett and I really enjoyed our time in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Man, I've been on that campus a couple of times. That is a pretty area.
All brick. All the buildings look the same. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
And great academically.
Oh, gosh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good weekend. And look forward to doing this again soon. We're going to get Blake in the men's clinic. And, you know, I know he's going to do an IV on Wednesday before we go to Las Vegas
That's
next
probably
week.
a good idea.
Right,
Yeah.
Mike?
Let me ask you this question, because that actually does bring up a good point. So let's say I'm planning a trip like that, and so we go to Vegas. We fly out Thursday. Is there like an optimum time before I do that to get my IV, and then like afterwards?
Yeah, sure. You know, before you go, the day before you go would be a good time.
Okay.
And, you know, we put some vitamins and things in there to kind of help you, because we know where you're headed and what you're going to be doing. Yeah. You know, when you come back, typically the day after, you know, and just kind of get rehydrated back up. A big part of a hangover and just feeling crummy after a big time of partying is just you're severely dehydrated. You know, alcohol is a diuretic. You know, it causes you to urinate more, so it dries you out, and that's part of the headache and it's just feeling bad. So, you know, just coming in and getting rehydrated can make a huge difference in how you feel.
So we're going Wednesday.
All right, there you go.
And then when you get back from Ireland after flying all the way across the world,
I'll need a double.
You'll need to drop back in on that next Tuesday.
I'll need a double.
You'll need a double.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because
I
we
can
may
do it.
have a beverage or two or three in Las Vegas
Probably.
next weekend.
Probably going to have one or two.
This guy at the NFL draft, there's just no telling what we're going to get.
We're going to tear it up. Do you have an NFL team, Doc?
You know, I like the Cowboys just because I like Dak. You
I
know,
knew I
and I'm a
liked you,
Manning,
man.
so you know
And he's from Drew, Mississippi.
yeah, and a Bulldog, and that's a hardcore Bulldog right there. You know.
There you go. All right.
Yeah,
all
Archie's part of my family, but I slipped up and went to state.
There you go.
right. There you go.
Drew, Mississippi tie, Manning tie, Dallas Saints. That's perfect.
Can't go wrong.
No.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
All right, out of bed, and he's heading to Oxford later today.
Yep, I'm headed up there. My daughter is a junior at Ole Miss, and so I got to go up
flies.
and do the dad deal for the double-decker weekend.
Y'all have fun.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Dr. Mike Manning on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone with the Men's Clinic in Madison. And you can go to themanthing.com. That's their website, themanthing.com. They're right off Highland Colony on Fountains Boulevard, and Blake and I will be there next Wednesday before we head out on our Las Vegas trip, and then Blake's going to Ireland for 7 or 8 days, which you're going to have an amazing time. We just had a listener text in. He's been to 24 countries, and he said Ireland is his favorite country. And my parents and brother have been over there several. They love it. You're in for a treat. And plus you'll blend right in. Right? Are you going to Dublin? Okay. All right. You know, there's a misconception that there's no good food over there, and that's not accurate. That's so I have to fill you in on some of that. Mike Manning in the house. Dr. Mike Manning, the Men's Clinic, themanthing.com. He joined us on the Corona Premier Guest Line. Hour number 3 coming up of the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 1059 The Zone. Driven by your next Ram truck at Mack Hike in Flowood. Visit mackhikeflowood.com. Also presented by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck. Spray and bed liners, lift kits, tires, and wheels. ricksprotruck.com. Back in a minute.